Right, hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Driving Talk podcast. We've got no guests this week, have we?
No, not this one. It's just after Christmas, everyone's still fat from turkey.
Everyone's still fat from turkey. Everyone's a bit busy. We have got some great guests coming up as well. We've got lots of interests.
Yep.
We did try and book a couple of guests. A few people turned us down. They weren't paying for it, but they're in the upper echelons of the sport, so it's kind of to be expected. It's how
That's all right.
It's how they make their money. But yeah, welcome back, Scott. We had a good episode with Millie. I enjoyed that one last week.
That was really good. That was a blinding episode.
And we kind of looked ahead to 2026 a little bit. We did more looking back.
Yeah, we did a lot looking back. There was a lot to look back on in 2025, I feel. It was quite a busy season.
And I think this year is actually going to be quite a pivotal year.
Yeah, there's a lot of new things going on, isn't there?
Yeah, there's almost a lot of last year before rule change. I mean, you know, there's a bit going on with the WRC, new cars manufacturers coming in hypercar next year.
Yep.
Lots of new bits coming on next year, but also this year the F1 regs change.
They do indeed, yeah. Massive change as well.
And we got a new British champion, well, Belgian, half British, half whatever champion.
He's British, leave him alone.
In Lando Norris. Can Oscar do it?
Yeah, he's quick enough. As long as McLaren sort their internal politics out, they'll be fine, I think.
Yeah, I think the problem is they've got two number one drivers, haven't they? And it's just not helped.
No.
So the other thing is, can Max do it? Will Red Bull get a car together? Or will
Absolutely. I think if they hit the ground running, I think Max can definitely do it. I think Aston are also going to be one to watch, in my opinion, with that Nui car. Because he's been in there in the background. They've been on it a long time. Hopefully Williams continue to push on with what they were doing at the end of last year.
I think they're going to win a race.
You think they're going to win a race?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. I still think it'll be podium.
You often get those races that are a bit chaotic, stuff happens, and a lot of the front runners, for some reason, hit trouble.
Yeah, it's not all going to be smooth sailing all the time, is it?
And with the new regs, I think there's going to be certain things where someone unexpected is going to come to the front, and I think it is going to be a Williams car.
Yeah, I think they've got the right people in the background, and having Carlos in there is another one. James Vowles is doing a brilliant job. He's turning that team around. Just fully efficient. Stop the backlog and the democracy, the politics within Williams and the old way of doing things. They've completely streamlined. Atassian coming on, has really.
It was something. It was something crazy, like an Excel spreadsheet that they still used for parts inventory. They didn't have their own database. No. And it was ludicrous.
It was just so far behind. Now, partnering up with the right people was obviously going to bring them on leaps and bounds, and it's already proving that they can do it. They've jumped a massive amount of points last year compared to what they've done in previous seasons. I think they've done really well. They'll be interesting. New teams coming in with Audi and Cadillac.
They'll be at the back though.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Audi may not be, because it's effectively taken over what was Sauber.
Yeah.
And that's it. So obviously Peter Sauber exits the sport, and I said in the last episode about, you know, my sort of feelings about that. And I didn't get any backlash, but I did get a few comments about the fact that, you don't watch Formula One. Realistically, no, I don't. I have a little ganders at the highlights, but Formula One for me isn't the pinnacle of the sport anymore. It's just a show. It's just all a giant show.
Okay.
Drive to Survive has kind of ruined it for me a bit because of the fan base, the toxic fan base it's brought on.
Right.
And people that don't actually look into the history of the sport. I mean, there was something that came up the other day I was reading through, and it was about the ultimate, and there was people on there that didn't even know who Ayrton
Senna was. Yeah,
and there's you know, people slagging off Schumacher, and it's just like, no, you know, he couldn't really drive anyway, and it's just, and then you sort of look at the profiles of these people, and they wouldn't have been alive when he drove.
No. It's always I don't want to come across as an old man in that sense of the word, but if you're interested in the sport, I'm an anorak when it comes to motorsport. I love motorsport. I love all things motorsport. I love it all.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I haven't just looked at the whole when I started watching Formula One to now. I look back even further. You look at Seb Vettel. Seb Vettel can name me every single world champion in Formula One, and he can do it. He's the only F1 driver that could do it at the time they did it. I remember they did it for Sky F1.
Yeah,
he was the only one that could do it.
At some point, I could do it. Not sure if I could get the pass. Well, I could probably get the pass for you. I don't know.
But I think you'd appreciate it more if you learnt the past of Formula One and how far Formula One is coming and why we have such rules and things like the halo like I know
Yeah.
about, obviously we had Joe Bianchi, but before that, the reasons, and Jackie Stewart, and he championed so many changes to bring into Formula One, and it wasn't just Formula One, it was circuit changes
It was
for
everything,
all
yeah.
of our safety.
It was, you know, you mentioned the name Roger Williamson
Yeah.
to some fans now, and they'll be like, oh,
They have
who's
no
that?
idea. They have no idea.
But, you know, if you are listening or watching to this and you are of quite a young age, Google Roger Williamson, Zandvoort, 1973.
Yeah.
You know, and this was around the time. I think Jackie Stewart used to say that when he raced, there was a 2 in 3 chance, not that he would survive, that he would die racing. And he still went racing. Mm-hmm. And until that fateful last Grand Prix, he was due to retire anyway, and then Francois Sever got killed.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, we've digressed. But Formula One to me is so different from when I watched it. I will keep a lookout on it, and I still.
But do you think that's the same though from when we watched it and started coming in as those fans to when you had the older fans coming in from the 70s and the 60s?
No, because I think the fans that watched it, we went
from era though, didn't we? So we went massive era, big turbos, and then you started to have more of a show.
Yeah, you did, but it was still the purists, and you could still have the garagistas. I mean, we obviously came from the era where Eddie Jordan came in and won. I mean, in the 90s, there were teams that came in and tried their best. You know, I think when we were little, you know, the mid-90s, you still had an element of pre-qualifying when you had teams like Forti and Simtek and LaRousse and trying to...
Moda.
Yeah, and trying to pre-qualify for those races. I think it was 97 when Lola came in for one Grand Prix and it was an absolute disaster, and then it disappeared.
Oh, remember? Yeah. That was in Autosport, I think. That was a little while ago. I've seen about that again. And
I can still remember watching, for some reason I still remember watching that. But it's not just that. Obviously, we've been talking about WRC and how different it was back then. And I like watching WRC now. And we're changing the subject, obviously moving on from Formula One. Some of the liveries have gone out, and the Toyota have released their livery. Yeah. And it looks stunning. Looks beautiful, and it's red and resplendent. And their primary colour, they've basically changed it from red from white to red.
Yeah.
And it looks good. And a little bit of me in the back of my head was like, I can remember.
Or Castrol car.
Well, no, I can remember when the first Toyota F1 car came out.
The white 2002. And red. Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of that a bit. And I was like, oh, yes, I remember. And Toyota came in, and they put so much money in, it was still a disaster. And
that was a little bit too much democracy as well. And they paid their drivers a hell of a lot of money.
They did.
Too much money, really. It took out the budget.
We'll come back to the WRC thing, because I'm kind of looking forward to that as well. They've got some young talent coming through. But F1 for me this year, I'm hoping the new rule changes shake it up a bit. But I'm hoping the fan base goes a bit sensible.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think, like I said on a previous podcast, it's very tribal now. That's what I find it is.
It always has been. But I think a lot of these Drive to Survive fans, if you ask them about any other motorsport, I mean, there's influencers out there now that are getting loads of views, and they're like, I'm just discovering all this other motorsport. And it's like, good God, man, it's always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been there. So A, how are we not reaching out to these fans? And B, I don't know. It's probably just me starting to turn... I mean, I'm 35, turning into a cynical old man, but...
Maybe we need to do more of a job ourselves as well, which is essentially what we're trying to do, is push the lower forms of motorsport onto the bigger stage, and these influencers and people that are into Formula One, that's because Formula One's in your face, it's there, it's the biggest, it is the biggest motorsport in the world.
It is.
So they're there, that's what they can watch, it's accessible. Maybe we need to, they need to filter down to us, but maybe we need to do a better job to market what we do, as in the motorsport.
So are you talking me and you as club racers?
As club racers, not just us.
Everyone.
Everyone that races on the lower tier of Formula. We're all real motorsport fans. We love it. We absolutely love it. We need people to come in just to watch and experience it, because you can get really close to the cars, which you can't do in Formula One. This is the thing. You used to be able to, if you listen to things, ex-drivers, why did you get into Formula One? Because I was at Silverstone and I could go into the pits and I could see that driver and I walk past that driver and I could touch the car. You can never do that in Formula One or any high-end motorsport, Le Mans, IndyCar. You can't do it anymore.
Not now, unless you've spent a lot of money on hospitality, stuff like that.
Yeah, but what are you going to spend? £20,000 for a day in Club F1.
I don't know. Don't know what the going rates are.
And even then you're in on the grid, and that's it. And you're in with however many other celebrities that they're just there to up their profile. Essentially, they're not interested in Formula One. That's not going to benefit the motorsport as a whole, in my opinion. You're going to get more out of bringing that fan in, making it a little bit more accessible. But again, I understand Formula One is a business. We're all there to make money.
And I get that. And all of the teams have ultimately benefited from this drive to survive. Boom.
Oh, yeah, huge.
Because all of the teams now, there's not one team that's valued at less than 3 billion, I think.
Oh, it's astronomical.
Crazy money.
Astronomical money.
So good for the teams.
It's brilliant for the teams, but they are essentially their teams are essentially businesses. And
I, my personal view as well, I think our governing body, Motorsport UK, need to remember about the club stuff. They need to remember about where motorsport comes from.
We all have to start there. Even the guys that are now racing Formula One have had to start racing what is essentially club motorsport.
Yeah.
You have to pay your dues.
Yeah.
So more needs to be done to promote this. What we do, the crowds have got smaller. Maybe it's ticket prices, cost of living, everything else.
Yeah,
maybe
a few circuits have tried. I'm pretty sure 750 Motor Club did with Thruxton, trialled a free day.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I remember newspapers used to do
they did,
yeah, they used to do the 3 days out, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
Renault used to give tickets away for their World Series events,
and they were brilliant. They were
huge.
packed.
My parents used to go. My dad, they were never really massively into motorsport. They kind of fell into it, but they'd go. And they'd get their friends to go. My brother played football, and they'd go with the football parents. Where are you going? Oh, we're going to Donington. We're going to watch. How come? Oh, we've got free ticket. These people still go now. They now pay for tickets.
Yeah.
So to get that taster, get them that close, plant the seed, let the bug bite, whatever you want to call it, that's the way you're going to get more and more people involved in the motorsport.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that don't ever want to race. They just enjoy going, sitting down, getting their fold-out chair up, watching it.
Yeah.
It's essentially what most touring car fans are.
Yeah.
So why can't you can do it in club motorsport? You get people that turn up and watch club motorsport and do that.
And we've spoken in a couple of episodes. We've mentioned a couple of times between us about packages.
Yeah. Will Gibson made a really good point about the package as well.
Yeah, and with American Speedfest, they do it as a whole package.
Yeah.
MSV are very good at that with their circuit
they're brilliant.
days.
They are brilliant at it.
They have the theme days. Obviously I'm involved with 4 Power Live, and it's all Ford themed. And
but how big is that gate that goes through that gate for 4 Power Live?
I would say on the days we've had where it's been a beautiful warm day, even a mild day, an average day, between 10, 15,000.
Do you reckon you could get that at multiple circuits around the country if you held multiple events? Have that bill, not just at Brands, not just at Silverstone.
I definitely think it's possible.
Yeah.
We've had a conversation with Stuart Lines, and I think he's trying to build up a thing around TCR UK and the trucks.
Yep.
And the trucks have acquired now, so the pickups, a big thing going into this year is the Sonny Howard has kind of relinquished. It was in Motorsport News recently. We've gone from Formula One to club racing. So right, we've done the Formula One bit. So let's look more into the club side of this year. So a big thing is Sonny Howard has actually relinquished control of the sort of promotional side of the pickups, and it's being run by the Truck Sport, Stuart Oliver's mob. With so it's effectively the British truck racing is. It looks like it's going to have its own package going around wherever it will be TCR UK, Civics. There's a bit going on with Audi and there's an Audi Cup thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of back and forth with BRSCC.
Yeah.
We won't go into that because
it's muddy.
It does look a bit muddy at the moment. It's a shame things like that happen because ultimately you don't want to dilute any grid.
No.
But yeah, we'll just leave that there for the moment until things develop later into the year. I think you need these packages. So obviously British GT is a package. British touring cars, they're what I would call the national packages.
Yeah.
So the British truck racing have kind of created their package. And it'll have TCR, which will obviously have Civics, this Audi thing, pickups.
GT Cup's a bit similar because if you put the GT Cups on, then you've got
does look that way.
You've got Porsche Club on there as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of aligning with what they do.
So and it's the one thing I've kind of seen in the past couple of years with club racing, and we may see more of this year when we kind of merge the calendars and have a look at who's where. I think there are certain championships that are deliberately following headline series, like your Porsche Club sat with GT Cup.
But
almost
it's
looking
building
for
that
progression
package around it. It's kind of getting to that niche. So if you look at the GT Cup, they're prestige cars, aren't they? Essentially, so
No, effectively,
then essentially you're going to get that type of people go and watch GT Cup, not just GT Cup enthusiasts or British GT enthusiasts. Oh, I like Lamborghinis, I like the Ferraris, I like. So if you have a paddock full of equally like prestigious brands, marques, cars, whatever, I think that goes with that. Your Ford Power One would do really well if you had different Fords, like classic Fords, as well as your Ford, modified Fords. Formula Ford 1600 would be great.
For the Ford Power Live, because it's only one weekend and it's sort of a circuit package day, it's a little bit different. I'm kind of thinking more of a package that stays as that wholesome.
For the whole season, they go up and down.
For the whole year round, so everyone knows where they are.
Yeah. Do you think that's because there's some really, really good championships around, but they are essentially, some of these can be under a different management. So some will be 750, some will be RSCC, some will be MSVR. Do you think that's maybe some of the problem that you've got is, they'd be really good with them, but they won't work with these? And
I think essentially there's this big problem in British motorsport. They're all hunting for the same thing. They're all effectively fighting to survive. Yeah. They need customers, which are racing drivers and people that build cars. So you will see over the past couple of years, a series will sprout up, and then another club will go, well, they'll do something similar. Yeah. To try and get the same
we'll jump on that. That's a great idea. Why haven't we done that?
We'll make our own version.
Yeah, and then it just, like you said, eventually you get the bit of dilution within.
Yeah, you do get a little bit, and it's competition, and competition is healthy.
It is healthy, yeah.
In business, obviously, it's also in motorsport. It's also quite scary times at the moment with cost of living. It's not the cheapest sport.
No, massively not.
With football, you can go and kick a ball in a park, and you can join in a local sample. It's a big commitment to go racing.
Even the cheapest form of motorsport is essentially a ride and drive go-karting. It's still not the cheapest, is it?
That's going to be another. So we're currently, as we film this tonight in one of the first weeks of January, myself and Scott have kind of been planning episodes, and one of them I've been doing a lot of research is the actual cost of racing. Yeah. So I have been messaging and speaking to different people across the country, and we're going to do a future episode and look at those costs per minute to go racing. And it'll probably be quite eye-watering.
It'd be quite nice to see. So if anyone's got sort of any costs of the championship they're running, it'd be kind of good to get as much data as possible for sort of that. So drop Rob or me a message, and we can put that into the spreadsheet of the costs of everything, because it'd be good to see the cost even from down to your oval motorsport, because I know
we've kind of gone cheap, I mean, I've kind of started on the endurance side of things and then sprint racing and circuit racing, but we're also looking at club rallying and stuff like that. I spoke to someone the other, it was actually through work. I went to a customer at work in South Wales that had a Mark II Escort tucked in the back, and once I'd worked on his forklift. You got all
excited.
Well, it wasn't that. I was just like, oh, right. And I could see the Roger Albert Clark Rally stickers on it. I went, oh, you did the Roger Albert Clark Rally? Yeah. And then we were sort of talking about it, and then he told me the costs. And obviously the money's got to go to the Forestry Commission because it's upkeep of the forest. Yeah. But he's like, oh, yeah, you don't walk away from the Roger Albert Clark Rally in the lower classes without spending 10 grand. And I'm like, for one rally.
For one rally. It's a club level, really, to do something like that. It's not a massive.
It's a historic rally, and it's got all the prestige of it, but it's still effectively club rallying.
Yeah.
And you've got Steve Perez and that have got the really nice Lancia and stuff like that, but it is still effectively
a club rally.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see the full breakdown. I mean, we're not trying to poke any bears. We're trying to understand. Because a lot of series, a lot of organisers and stuff, they
do get protective.
They do,
and it's understandable.
But they also punt sometimes about how affordable and cheap motorsport is, and look at this series, and you can do it for this. Like there's a new series out, the Exocet, with the 750 Motor Club, and I understand.
I did see an email about that.
I like the idea of that. Actually, you can buy the car and race your first season for under 20 grand.
Okay.
That's great.
20 grand's still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money. The Swifts did a similar thing. Yeah. When they come out, I'm pretty sure quite a few championships have done the same thing to get people in the door. The problem is,
they always have that starter pack, don't they?
Which is a great thing to do, because it's, do you know what? I can go racing and I can own that car and I can go and race. It's just, what's it going to cost for season 2, season 3? I know you haven't got the outlay of the car, but then it's the ongoing costs of the tyres, the fuel, and everything else that goes along with it. I mean, because a lot of people camp at the track.
Yep.
Whether I've seen people in tents sleeping in the back of their car. That is the cheapest form of motorsport you can do, and I commend anyone that will do a Brands Hatch in November and sleep in the back of their car. You hats off.
I did it. My first season with the Focus, when I raced it, effectively it was a Group N style championship, the Pre-05s, and that first year I did 4 events in total. I towed it with a Mondeo estate, and I kipped in the back of the Mondeo. Literally laid the back seats out, and just that was it. And I had a tiny little toolbox. I did what I could as a club level racer.
Yeah,
and you could do that.
You could.
You struggled, but you could do that.
You still can do that, but most people they'll go and buy the motorhome because they need it, or they'll convert their own camper van. They do it themselves. That's extra expense.
Yeah.
And then people have to stay in either B&Bs or hotels. So that's all got to be factored in. Travelling up and down the country, fuel's not cheap.
So looking ahead to the year, so new season approaching, are we going to see grids dwindle? What do you think? What changes are we going to see? Because I'm going to be commentating on some of this, hopefully. I don't want to see grids being down again.
I want to say they won't be. I think they will be. Everyone has sort of felt the pinch big time with the budget that came out at the end of the year.
And there's been, again, we won't go into the politics and our thoughts on it, but it has impacted businesses, and a few businesses have kind of gone, "Oh, I don't like
pulled
that."
The purse strings. I know people that have lost sponsorship completely, or had the sponsorship halved or over half, 80%. So one guy I know, he had 80% taken off of his sponsorship compared to last year. That's a huge amount of money. So he's made his plans, and then he's like, whoa, that's massively impacted now, and we're all competing. You're competing, I'm competing, everyone is competing to try and get sponsorship. The championships are competing to get sponsorship. Organisers are competing to get sponsorship. And that comes down from the lowest levels all the way up to the highest levels. So I think that's massively going to impact grids. I think some people might actually we'll see how the year plays out. We'll see till April. I think from now until April, you're not really going to know.
You'll probably get to about July, and then you'll get a real tale of it, because people will always commit to the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And they'll probably have money for the first 3 or 4 rounds. It will be then, I think, you'll start to see grids tail off.
Yeah. Which will be a huge shame, massive shame. And it's not. We just need a bit of help from we're not getting into the politics.
No, we're not. But then I also think that because it is a national sport, if this was football, I mean, football's always had its problems with grassroots and getting funding down from the Premier League. And rugby's got massive financial issues. Same with cricket. They created the 100 to then bring money in for the counties at the very top of the game, so the grassroots. Motorsport is predominantly very expensive, but in the UK, it still flabbergasts me we spoke about Rockingham in a previous episode. No government help with that, even though
there's no government help for Rally GB.
No government. No government help for that at all. Didn't want to know. But 7 of the 10 Formula 1 teams are based in the UK. How many WRC teams are Britain backed? Or they've got bases in the UK, or they've got British engineers helping them out.
We're the hub of world motorsport, aren't we? Really?
X-Track gearboxes. Anyone? Thatcham, literally down the road from where I grew up. They were supplying gearboxes for absolutely anything around the world. Motorsport still do. Now, I'm not saying it. I'm not giving it the big. Britain is the only way to go, but I sometimes think that both Motorsport UK and whatever government's in power need to go right. Motorsport's very important for both the sporting side of it and the engineering side of it, and vice versa. You only need to look at COVID to see how important motorsport was, because they just went, right, flip the skills out, and they went straight into make it the same as aerospace did, making things for the medical industry to get us through COVID. So we've gone on a real sidetrack. We're meant to be looking forward to next year. We've gone deep.
Should we regroup and come back?
We'll regroup and come back. We'll make another cuppa. Sorry, mate. It's just because it's so cold.
It's freezing. It's freezing. Right. We'll be right back after these short messages. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all social media platforms.
And don't forget to like and subscribe on the likes of Spotify and YouTube. Subscribe to listen to us for new content coming up wherever you can.
Oh, dear.
Right. Are we back?
Are we back?
Are we back?
Yeah, I think so. So we've just spent the first 20 minutes just waffling. Really, we were like, let's start with Formula One, and then we waffled. And let's talk about a bit on the club side, and then we waffled. I want to talk about WRC.
Let's go there,
because I think we spoke about how it ended last year. Elvin Evans just missing out, and OJ getting that championship. But I love rallying. I haven't been into it as much in the past few years, and I think it's because of the cars themselves, how they look. They just look ridiculous.
I think a lot of people lost the love of WRC, to be honest with you, because it's not what it was.
It's not what it was. I'll tell you the one thing that does excite me this year, though. So M-Sport released their lineup, and it's all youth.
Yeah.
And it's some real crap. I mean,
Change attack, wasn't it?
Malcolm Wilson has always been good at finding those young kids
Yep.
that can do it. And like Adrian Formeau and such in the past few years. And it's the fact that he's sort of gone with the youth again, and he's got John Armstrong, who's rallied well in Ireland, and he's actually made a big step up. So he's not going to WRC2, he's going straight from sort of the R5 sort of lower formulas right up to what they call WRC1.
Yep.
And he's going to get into the M Sport Ford, and he's got Josh McCurlin full season rallying as well. So Ford have gone with youth.
Yep.
Toyota, we've already spoken about how good that car looks.
Looks epic, doesn't it?
It does look epic. And the fact that they're going with a Corolla. So it's the return of the Corolla. And of course, as soon as I heard that, I came straight out of a WRC sort of retro hole, and I went straight back into it. So straight away last night, I was sat there watching, I think it was 1998, and sort of harking back to how good.
That's what you were doing your notes this here, weren't you?
Yeah,
having
just
a little bit of a reminisce session.
I just had it on in the background because the scale of drivers back then, and I think that'll be one of the kickback episodes we do, is just how good WRC was back then.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that Toyota are still in the sport. I like the fact that Ford are still in the sport with the car, and Malcolm Wilson's sort of his legacy still sort of kicking around with the Ford squad. And I like the fact that what Hyundai have done over the years, and they had a 1-2 finish at the end of the year. They've kind of confirmed their commitment again. I think it's only a 1-year commitment though, which is worrying because the regulations change in 27.
Yeah.
So obviously Formula One changes for this year, so it's kind of the swan song for the mad wings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they need to get it right.
They really, really do.
Because they've got 3 manufacturers there. I mean, I'm not sure how committed Ford are as a manufacturer in terms of the money they're putting into them.
Yeah.
But you've still got Toyota and Hyundai there. But for how long?
This is the problem, but then you end up with a load of privateers and it dies off like it did before. When you get a load of the big manufacturers pull out, they've...
And I mean, arguably that's what happened with Loeb and with Ogier and the years that he was winning with Volkswagen, because
there was no competition.
Barely. I mean, it was the odd Ford and the odd Citroen.
Yeah.
But they weren't strong manufacturer entries then, and there was a lot of change there. So we've just done some short media videos, some TikTok reels type stuff. Sebastian Loeb and Ogier are some of the great drivers, and they've won 9 titles each. I wouldn't put them among the greatest.
No,
because of the
it's
competition.
the same thing as what people do with Lewis. They compare Lewis to... same. They do it with Schumacher as well. But he had dominant years. So they're going to do exactly the same with Ogier and Loeb.
Yeah.
It's about timing.
It is about timing. But
the best driver in the best car.
Arguably, they make that. Schumacher won some of his most dominant championships at a time when the manufacturer spending was ramped up. I mean, BMW, Williams, McLaren, they were throwing everything at it. Yep. And reliability was also a major problem back then.
It was indeed. Well, they were so highly strung.
Yeah.
But with the WRC, they've got to get it right moving forward. That expenditure doesn't put off the manufacturers, because if you can keep the expenditure low enough, yet the competition rife, they want to be in there.
And do you know what? They need the GB rally back.
They do.
GB or Ireland. I don't care what they do. Ireland is close enough for me, but they need something on the British Isles.
100%.
Because it still gripes me that doesn't happen. Rallying in the UK for me is so important. And it's
some
still
of the best
thriving.
WRC moments, if you look back at the reels, Rally GB. some of the most iconic moments.
Yeah.
Rally GB. It's a tough rally. The
Lewis
end of the
Moyer
year.
putting a helmet through the back window, 300 yards from the finish.
Yeah.
Wales Rally GB, or the British Rally, Network Q Rally. as it
Network
was
Q
back
Rally,
then.
yeah.
And, you know, I can still remember the special stages around. Okay, I'm marking back because I've just watched it, but they did special stages around Silverstone, you know, Chester. You know, when Colin McRae won the championship, it was in Chester. And then they did sort of stages around Cardiff and Swansea and all of that lot. And I missed that.
Yeah, that drew again. It drew in the fans, which then draws in the money into the WRC.
I mean, the Isle of Wight's useless. Just do it on there.
Just turn it into a massive rally stage.
Yeah, I think they need to. I mean, the residents there are a bit anyway, so.
I know a couple. Sorry, Chloe.
just turn it into a massive race and rally track. It'll be fine.
There's so many cool stages around the UK, though.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
is so many. Like Goodwood's fantastic. I went and that was brilliant.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
I really did enjoy that. Honestly, that was a proper insight into rally, and they had some top equipment there as well as really cool old stuff. You know what? That was mustard. That was mustard. So
and clubman rallying is thriving still. There's a lot of local motor clubs that are doing the best they can to put events on and get
there's an
rallies
event
going.
on this month at Snetterton, isn't there?
Yeah, and with the circuit rallies as well, they've got very popular. Teggy, where I've got involved and they've backed it. They're putting their own cars in. It's great to see.
Yeah.
Can't be a Forest rally though. I mean, I obviously I mentioned before the break about who I spoke to about the Roger Albert Clark rally, but I'm pretty sure there's still loads of rallying going on in Scotland. The Irish tarmac rally I will always be a fan of.
Fantastic, isn't it? It's fantastic. You remember watching the crash videos? There's loads of Irish tarmac rallies on it. It's fantastic.
But even when I went there as a spectator, and it's just formidable. It's just a great culture out there, and so much so the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship have now got Holly McRae involved with their McRae Media.
Yeah.
She's now their social media presenter for the Irish Tarmac Rally.
Yep.
And they're starting their first rally in Wales.
I think if you have what you call a WRC, you need, and it's a world rally.
Yes.
Not to have one in the UK.
Yeah.
It's not a world rally championship, is it?
It would be like to me, it's like Formula One pulling out Silverstone and not coming to the UK.
Yeah, it'd be devastating, wouldn't it? So, yeah, WRC, I'm looking forward to getting back into it. You've kind of pushed me back into it as well. So, I hopefully we have a good year this year to finish off the last of those cars looking into next year.
Yeah.
So that'll
This
be
year,
good.
yeah.
I remember we're 26 now.
Yeah, we're going to hold off on sports cars because the new Toyota has come out today, but we're missing a Woodwiss. So he's still in France. We're hoping to have him back next week to have a sit in the seat. So fingers crossed for that. But we'll hold off on that till then. Should we talk touring cars?
We can talk touring cars. There's been a bit of news dropped this morning, wasn't there?
So JP's in a Merc.
He is.
Plato Racing is going to be in a Mercedes, a CLA. But to me...
Well, it's an A35, actually. This is basically a
An Austin.
CLA. But it's like, it just reminds me of the old A-Class from Sicily with a boot.
So it's basically an S3.
Yeah, what they did with the S3. It's the same similar thing. It's a cool-looking car.
And I think they're going to gain a lot of Eastern European fans, which is good, which is nice. The Eastern Europeans love a Merc or a BMW.
Yeah. We'd probably be sponsored by Uber.
Yes, definitely. Or various drug cartels. I won't go there. No, I joke. We're not going back to the Vickley years yet, are we?
No.
But,
no.
It's good to see. How long before they start winning? Or do you think it depends on the drivers?
I don't think it depends on the drivers. As much as it pains me, I don't think they'll win a race this year.
Do you really not think?
No. They've got RML on board, which is fantastic, but
Yes.
are you going to go up against the likes of Accelerate with that Hyundai
And
and pump it out straight away? And
But-
even the Focus is quick.
yeah. Well,
And-
there's been no whispers about another car, so I think they're sticking with the Focus for another year.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're going to, in my opinion, they're going to stick with the Focus. They've got Dan Cameron and Nash back. Let's be honest, it's going to happen. If Speedworks sort those Toyotas out, they're also going to be up there.
It's happening. I think the Blundell factor is going to be a big thing.
Yeah. So that's going to be. It's not
Huge.
It's not going to be easy to walk in and just. They are going to cause the biggest buzz in that paddock, and I just hope they put on the show and really generate the interest back into the championship. Because although we spoke about, and we were a little bit downbeat, I was when we spoke about it before.
It was last year, to reiterate our point, last year wasn't what we expected it was going to be, hence the episode title.
But if we look back, don't forget, you and me watched the years when you had the Astras in the Super 2000s and you had 8 cars on the grid.
Yeah, that's first racing. Yeah. So when you put it into context, it's not
really
a disaster.
It wasn't that bad, was it? I think we were just bashing it a little bit, and it was kind of.
I think we were. It was not so much clickbaity, but it wasn't to the standard that we normally expect. But we've been lucky,
really lucky. We were spoiled, really.
Yes.
For a good few years when BTC really went almost back to Super Touring car levels, almost. Just without the
I think the racing was better than Super Touring.
I agree. Don't forget, when you watch the Super Touring, we look back at the race tinted spectacles on the BTCC for Super Touring cars, but all this was edited.
It was all edited and highlighted. But you also found that back then, when the live races were on, a lot of the times it was processional.
Yeah.
Because of the extra aero and everything, it did make it processional, and it just turned into an arms race.
Yep.
Hence, the manufacturers then pulled out. We're not in a world of manufacturers, and they're like, well, they're all the same car underneath. Yeah, but look at the racing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They are essentially. They've done it to cool cost town, and yes, I know they're not going to be the car you can go and buy off the showroom. So, but they do look different.
Yep.
I would like to see. I'd love to see some more cars on the road with that aero on. I think that'd be awesome. So that'd be quite cool. Maybe, if whoever's making the aero can offer that kit for road cars, it'd be wicked.
I think ABS do for a couple of the cars that they've done over the years.
They've released. ABS did a release for the Astra. So if you've got an Astra, they released, I think, 5 or 6 kits, something like that. Might be more, might be less, but I do recall seeing that. And there's a couple I think I've noticed. There's some Cupra stuff popped up on various auction sites and marketplaces that you could turn your Cupra into. But mind you, it's very Team Hardy, isn't it? Yeah,
it's very. There's high court bailiffs at the door sort of look.
But touring cars I'm looking forward to. Really, really looking forward to for next year. There's not too much of a massive rule change, which is still good. There's enough.
It's probably so. We're going into 2026, and when did NGTC come in? 2012.
Yeah.
So to have a set of technical regulations go on for that long is,
and you're not seeing the same car over and over and over and over and over again.
No, you are seeing an evolution. I mean, the thing is, if you put an MG6, I mean, we had it a few years ago when Accelerate came into the touring cars, and they had the MG6, but it was that far gone in its development cycle, and the new stuff was that much better. They were at the back.
Yeah, that was a deal done because they were really cheap and there was alcohol consumed.
Did you know something I don't?
I know, yeah. There's a little story I got told about that one. I don't know if I can digress completely and if I can remember properly, but they weren't the cars that they were meant to go and buy.
Right.
It was, do you want these? These are cheap. And there was a load of alcoholic beverage involved. And then, why have you turned up with these cars? They'll be fine. So that's why the MG6 lived on for longer than it should have, really.
Yeah. But it showed its kind of development cycle of those particular set of technical regulations.
Yeah, because they came in late. If you remember, we had the Avensis and the Insignia. Mm-hmm. Didn't we? They were the first.
They were the first.
Sort of two. And if you look, we've gone from those big sort of saloon cars, those bigger ones, Mondeo size and things like that, into the smaller i30s, the Focuses,
the hatches,
the hot hatches as such, not your small stuff, but your mid-size. What do you see mostly on the road now? It's SUVs, 4x4s,
crossovers.
It's that crap. And you don't want anything too big.
Yep.
So these, I think, are absolutely perfect, to be honest. Like, it'd be cool to see a bit more diversity, maybe like a 308 or something like that would be quite cool. Imagine a 308 in the SO Ultron livery, it'd be mega, wouldn't it? But
now who's going into a retro hole?
That's a bit of a retro hole, but I think it's going to start picking up again, the BTCC.
Yeah, I think it will. They'll probably. I think they are due a regs change at some point, haven't they? They're tweaking the current regs, and that comes in next year.
Yeah.
So they're also changing it that it's got to have a petrol engine version of what you're doing. So let's see what the next couple of years brings. I don't think it'll entice any manufacturers into the bridge touring cars because
not really. I don't think the money's there, and you've got these other manufacturers, like you said, just gone into Formula One. The WRC are picking up the changes in WRC and stuff. So, and which of these manufacturers do you think would come in? There's not. MG might come back, but
it'll be a Chinese one.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, but the problem, again, like what you said, you wouldn't have things like a BYD. We're getting flooded in the UK market with all these Chinesium electric vehicles
that will last 4 or 5 years and then go in the bin.
Go in the bin. This is just that's what they are. They're a mobile phone on wheels.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah. So it's those cars that need the petrol variants, which is the best rule you could have done.
Yep.
So that massively limits who you can and can't put in. Really, the bigger manufacturers, not the niche ones that are just pushing the EVs. That's why we've not had a Tesla. Things like that. So, will that work? I don't know. I think we'll just see a continuation maybe of the cars we've got on, just adapted. But as long as the racing's good and the drivers are entertaining and the liveries look awesome, I think we'll be fine. To be honest with you, I honestly do. It's the lower end we need to worry about, just with grid numbers, really.
Yeah, and again, that's drivers bringing the money in.
Yeah.
But we got some announcements coming up. I think Dan Lloyd's due to make an announcement
tomorrow, 10 a.m. Well, it'll be out by the time this goes out. But
so
by the time
Dan Lloyd's announcement will be out, but as we record this, he's due to make an announcement on where he is. So that's probably something we'll discuss next week.
Yep.
Or in the next episode, so we will touch on that. But it kind of caught us on the hop because we were literally about to press record and it's like, oh, Dan Lloyd's about to make an announcement. Bugger.
Yeah, that's all right. It'll be fine. We'll pass that. There's some, we'll see. I think he'll be a good player.
I've just realised as well, it's the first week in January and we haven't been to Birmingham and had our pants pulled down.
Oh, you must be talking about Autosport.
What was?
Well, yeah. The pilgrimage to spend lots of money on car parking.
Yes. I mean, the car parking was ridiculous. There was so many negatives about the show, and I completely understood it. Having been involved with the charity, I'm a committee member of Driven Minds. They were very much missold a space at Autosport this year.
Yeah.
And I think they were misled. And there was a lot of people, once you inquired, there was a lot of people that were then concurrently feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
They were sold spaces and told they were going to get X, Y, and Z, and then the price all of a sudden tripled and doubled and quadrupled, and it was like, hang on a minute.
That's not what we agreed.
That's not what we agreed. So understandably, we pulled away. Several other people pulled away. And then all of a sudden you face the not too surprising announcement that Autosport was...
Yep. It's on a sabbatical. Is the official. Do you think it will come back or do you think we're done?
No, I think we're done. I think...
Do you think that coincides with what Autosport is as well?
I think Autosport as an entity will be dead within a year.
Okay.
Magazine and everything.
Yep.
They don't sell the magazines anymore.
No, you have to actually order them, don't you?
Well, to be fair, a few times when I've managed to see one, it's always been at WH Smith's at an airport.
It's not WH Smith's anymore, is it? It's
no, they've sold
something now.
Yeah, it's going to turn into something else. But they're Smith's when I've looked at them.
Yeah.
You know, it's on the shelf, and you sort of, when you pick up a magazine with the intent to buy it, and you sort of have a quick flick through.
Yeah.
And I did that, and then I put it back because I was like, I'm not paying that amount of money for the content you're getting. It was very much recycled content.
I used to buy that religiously.
Same.
Religiously.
Now
I've just renewed my subscription for Motorsport News.
Yeah, my other half will probably not be listening to this, but we know that there are boxes and boxes of old Autosports that I will not throw out, and they're in the loft. I will not get rid of them.
Good.
She keeps threatening to, but it was literally every week without fail. You got your issue of Autosport, and they didn't move enough with the times.
No, unfortunately.
And I think once you had the exodus to the Race Media Network, you also do some brilliant podcasts as well.
Yeah.
and is sort of an inspiration for us, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
For the Driving Talk podcast and the first podcast I wrote and produced, which was the Club Racing UK one. You know, there was a change of the guard there, and then Autosport just went downhill, and it kind of coincided with the show.
Yeah, and it's a long way to catch up, and I just don't think you can catch up.
Yeah.
So,
and it was the same with the show. It went from so many halls. I remember going there 2009, 2008, when it was a college trip for me when I was doing motorsport at Basingstoke College.
Yeah.
And we did the Autosport show, and it was completely next level compared to
unreal.
now.
I remember going in 2008. I was at McLaren, so we got tickets, and literally we struggled to get around it in a day.
Yeah.
It was a massive eye opener, and I wanted to get into motorsport so badly before, but this show just took it to another level.
And you walked out with bags of things.
It was amazing. So many halls. The live action arena was fantastic. The actual marketing. Everything about the show for that year for me was epic, and I did probably 5 years after that. You could just see the decline.
Yeah.
So, and it was sad to see. And then I didn't go, and I went last year. I was trying to get some people I know into the motorsport, and it was just, they were like, "Is this it?" Trying to sell you into motorsport. To invest into motorsport, and they just were completely underwhelmed. It was like a flea,
because
it's like a flea market.
Yeah, even if you weren't going there for the stands and everything that was going on, it was normally a good place to go and network. But even last year when we went, it was good because I caught up with people in the social side of it. But
yeah, that was the best part of it.
If I was paying for a ticket though, I wouldn't have done. I'd have been very disappointed.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can completely understand it. So the next one we've got, the show is Race Retro.
Yes. Which I can say we are going to be there for a day.
Yeah, we're going to be there for the day. So if you want to come in and kick us, poke us.
Yeah, we're going to be hopefully wearing some hoodies with the Driving Talk podcast.
Yep.
Logos on it. So if you do see me and Scott kicking us about, by all means come up, poke us, kick us, slap us, buy us a coffee. Yeah, and if you're interested in coming onto the podcast and telling your story in motorsport, by all means.
Yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about. We're just two blokes waffling on about motorsport because we love motorsport. But if anyone, we're happy to talk about anything within motorsport.
Yeah, I another thing I want to look into in 2026, I want to look at how things work in the background, how things work in British motorsport, whether it's the organisational side, stuff like that. I have an idea. And people tell me how it works, but I want them to come on here and tell the world.
Yeah.
This is how it works. This is why we do things.
Yeah.
You know, I want to speak to people like Jonathan Palmer. I want to, utilise my good people and good friends at the BRSCC, and I've started reaching out to people involved, sort of saying, I want you to come on because I want them to tell the world how. This is how it works. This is what we have to do. This is why we have to do it.
Yeah, and I think if you give it, if it's out there in the ether that everyone can then understand. There's no, you don't feel, well, why are they doing that? It's unfair. No, there's a reason. There's always a reason.
Yep.
Logical or illogical of why things happen. We don't always see the full picture.
No.
As a customer, or as a consumer, as a racer, so it'd be nice to come on and have a chat with people that can explain the whole process.
Yep.
That like even down to. We want to talk to marshals about what got them into it, the whole process, your training, your whole routine on the day, how it works, how many days you have to do. That I think that's a really good. Like we can go and if we want stamps on our license, we can go and do marshalling for a day.
Yeah,
I know someone that did it and he absolutely adored it.
Well,
and he's going to go and do it more often.
So that's the other thing that Motorsport Ireland have just brought in actually, and there's been absolute uproar from the races at Mondello Park, but they've actually changed their licence fee. They've hiked it up to an extraordinary amount.
Yep.
And the only way you can bring it back down to the acceptable level, you do 1 day's marshalling. 1 day.
It's 1 day.
Yeah.
I know I'm busy, you're busy, lots of people are busy, but if you know that's coming in and it's enough planned ahead.
Yeah, you can plan for it.
Yeah, I think you could do it. And if it's only Mondello Park, you want to go race there anyway. It's like we'd have to go to Brands Act or Thruxton. We're in the middle, we're lucky.
Yeah.
I'd go and do it.
Yeah,
honestly, I'd go and do it. I've done it on grassroots level ovals, dirt ovals, and you know it's good fun.
Yeah.
You get free lunch. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And you can't get any closer to the racing without actually being in the car.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
but even rallying, you can go marshal at rallies.
yeah.
So it doesn't. I don't think it should be just a fact of circuit racing. You have to do circuit racing. It should be you do any marshal anywhere,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, very good idea.
A really good idea. Then if you don't want to do it and you're too busy, you just pay your extra and forfeit the day.
Yeah, and away you go. And there's a bit of extra money in the kitty, but the money's got to go to the right place.
It's good, yeah, 100%.
And it's got to be used in the right way as well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't like people like MSU. The governing body, they don't. You can't really go to them. If you did it as a marshal, you go to the Marshals Fund. Just along those lines, I think it'd be a good idea. Driven Minds is a good charity to give it to.
Definitely. Driven Minds or Mission Motorsport.
Mission Motorsport is another fantastic one.
Yeah, definitely. Time for another break?
Yeah, should we have another coffee? It's very cold in here.
Very cold in this.
We just want to thank our loyal sponsors for their help and support for the Driving Talk podcast. From the Driving Talk podcast itself being powered by Icon and Paul Harvey to Sandown Motorsport, who let us use the wonderful facilities here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the final part of this week's show.
Indeed, yes, go.
We've covered a bit of F1, we've covered a bit of club racing, we've covered WRC. Let's look overseas. Actually, good news.
Good news.
The Dacia Sand Riders are at the Dakar Rally. The Dakar Rally is going on as we record this.
The Dakar that's not the Dakar that is the Dakar, but it's not in the Dakar anymore.
Pretty much.
Okay.
The Saudi Arabia Dakar that goes to other countries. And it did go to South America for a bit, but it was still called the Dakar.
Faux Dakar.
And then the Dakar went to other countries, but it was still the Dakar, even though it wasn't in Dakar.
Dakar on tour.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Basically. Thanks to terrorism. So Toyota have got cars there. Dacia have got cars there, built by ProDrive.
Indeed.
They've got
With Seb Loeb.
Seb Loeb, and Carlos Sainz is in a Ford again.
You like that, don't you?
I love that. I can, again, harken back to the old WRC review when he was in the Repsol Escort, ripping that round, and now he's doing it in the Dakar.
Yeah. He is a bit of the goat of the Dakar.
I think Stefan Hansel is, and he's in a Land Rover Defender in like the production category.
Really?
Yeah, they've got a load of Land Rover Defenders.
Oh, yes, they do. ProDrive were involved with those as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were indeed. I still like the trucks in the Dakar.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You couldn't hold the Dakar in the UK because if you park those Defenders in service park overnight, you come back to them the next day, all the front panels would be nicked.
Yeah.
And sold for parts.
But yeah.
Yeah, basically.
So that'll be our Eastern European friends again.
certainly could. You certainly couldn't hold a service park in Birmingham. Anyway,
moving on.
So, but yeah, it's good to see the Dakar. I mean, the footage of the coverage of that is actually on TNT Sports, so it's good to get the coverage of it.
Yeah, it's good. At least it's able to watch. It's one good thing to go on to TNT Sports. The one that's not is BSB. Yeah. That's because that's a little bit of a...
Well, that was the big news. I actually spoke to Millie about that. Bennett's pulling out their title sponsorship of the BSB after 20 years. And a lot of the speculation is it's purely because
it's moved to TNT.
It's, where they've gone with the coverage.
Nothing to do with the fact that they've lost a load of policy holders because they hiked their prices up. So I'm told by people that I know that ride bikes. But yeah, it's easy for them to blame TNT. But yeah. No longer the Bennett's BSB, is it?
Yeah, so who do you think they're going to get in?
Oh, that's a big shoe to fill. That's a big amount of budget. Big amount of budget.
But it'll be a big amount of coverage. I mean, you look at the track when the superbikes are on and it's absolutely
plastered everywhere. That and Omologato. Our friends over at Omologato. Shami, top man. Top man.
Do you think Shami's going to step in and it'll be the Omologato British Superbikes Championship?
No, I don't think so. I think he still would want to do... I don't know, we can get him on and ask him. It'd be quite good.
I think we need to get him on the pod and just have a little chat, have a little catch-up.
But, BSB moving on to TNT Sports is a bit of a shame. It's a bit, to me, it's a bit like touring cars. It should be on free-to-air. Yeah,
you can't put stuff like that behind the paywall. No. I mean, I said that when F1 went to Sky Sports.
Yep.
Albeit Sky Sports is well-known, everyone's got the coverage and stuff like that. We grew up with F1 being free-to-air. It was on ITV or it was on BBC, pure and simple.
And do you remember the ITV... how good was that?
How good was it? The title sequence for F1 will always be... but of course, the original and the GOAT will always be The Chain. The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. I mean, this whole thing about, and again, Drive to Survive fan, I love the F1 song. And it's like, what, Fleetwood Mac? Because there's nothing else.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But the thing is, that was never, if you think about that though, if we're going off piste again, that was never on any of the video games. The chains weren't on it. Whereas now it's all officially licensed. You get it on the video game and everything else. It's a bit like the Champions League anthem. That's where that's gone.
But that was because it was the BBC coverage.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, whereas the song is licensed by F1 and yay, commercialism.
But yeah, back to so Dakar's on TNT.
Yeah, Dakar's on TNT. I mean, what are you looking forward to overseas? I'm hoping IndyCar bounces back because Penske was a big shock last year. Will Power's now gone from Penske.
Yes,
he's gone. That was huge,
massive. He's gone. He's got so it's a new team, new spotter for him as well. Completely new. That's a power move. That one.
Yeah, Alex Palau, can he be toppled?
Yeah,
Scott McLaughlin had a shocker last year. I mean, crashing on the green flag lap for the Indy 500, and Penske just had a shocker in general. There was the cheating scandal with the boost.
It was a year to forget for Penske completely.
I think it was. NASCAR, IndyCar, everything.
The whole lot. Just run it off. Start again.
Which they did. Effectively, they cleaned house.
Yeah. I don't know. Overseas, obviously, I'm a NASCAR fan, so I'm looking forward to NASCAR. Always looking forward to that. February is Daytona 500, so properly looking forward to that. I'm a bit.
Yeah. Well, we've got the IMSA race at Daytona soon, have we not? That's always before
Daytona,
the 500.
The Rolex 24.
Yeah.
I love a bit of Rolex 24. I'm looking forward to Le Mans as well. Obviously, another big race. I always watch Indy. It's hard. I always watch the big ones. I follow a lot of stuff over here, really, more than I do overseas.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're the big ones for me. I follow NASCAR every week anyway, so that's kind of where my head goes for my offs. Yeah.
But I'm still not going to be tempting you for a winner. Can SVG win it on an oval this year?
Yes.
You think he will?
I think he will. I need to get into Aussie V8s. That's my New Year's resolution, to get into Aussie V8s, and I want to go to Bathurst.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think this year is going to be, again, when we had the chat with Emilio, I went into my monologue, albeit half, but trying to cough my chest up. But it is all changed this year with 888 going into Fords, they're going into Mustangs, and they've already started building the cars up. We need to see what's going to happen with Toyota.
That car looks amazing.
It does. And obviously Team 18 now taking on the Chevy homologation team.
Yep.
It's going to be a bit of a straight shootout. And I have this feeling that Toyota are going to come out on top, because it happened in 2014 when Volvo came in.
Yeah.
They didn't win the championship, but they were fast straight away. V8 supercars have been trying to get Toyota on board for years. And Neil Crompton and his team have done a formidable job of just chipping away at them and getting them involved and just chipping away. And now they've got them in. They don't want them to come in, have an absolute shocker, and then they go
again.
No,
it's not
done.
For us, yeah.
It's not for us. So they want to keep them on board long term. So obviously
you need them in straight away and be fast. It's the only way to keep them.
Yeah. So the three cars individually, the Mustang and the Chevy and the Toyota, have been out to the States, and they've been doing all the parity and the homologation testing and stuff like that. And they've declared we have parity. Well, that's not been the case between Ford or Chevy since Gen 3 came in. So I don't know what the hell they're going on about. But let's see. There are also some drivers this year that I feel in the V8 supercars this year they need to really prove themselves for various different reasons.
Yeah.
Thomas Randall needs to win a race.
Okay.
I think this could be the year where it's either do or die.
Right.
He's been with Tickford for a while. He's had a couple of years sort of being in the shadow of Cam Waters. Cam Waters started brilliantly last year at Tickford. Had that amazing race at Sydney Motorsport Park with the two Red Bulls.
Yeah.
And I genuinely came out of that opening round thinking, yeah, he's going to be one of the guys to win the championship, and it just faded so quickly. And Tickford have had that problem for the past few years, and they've just had some fresh investment, a bit of a team ownership change. So I think there's going to be some changes there. Red Bull are obviously hurting because they've lost the championship. Brock Feeney didn't win the championship.
Yeah.
He's going to be hurting. So he's going to come back with a bit between his teeth, but in a new car.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting dynamic there. And Roland Dane returns, not to Triple Eight. He's gone to Premier Racing, who are not a homologation team, but he knows what to do. He did it with Triple Eight when they bought Briggs and they started working in Australia, albeit 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
You know, he obviously retired and sold off Triple Eight and did what, but he's come back and he's going to be team principal. He's going to be working. There's so many elements to what's going to go on in the V8s next year.
It's going to make for an interesting season, isn't it?
It's going to be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I, you know, for the life of me, I've sat there and thought about it, and I cannot put my name on my sort of, he's going to win the championship.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it? You don't want it nailed on.
No, you don't want it nailed on. You know, Chaz could win it again, but he's got a formidable teammate in Ryan Wood who caught a lot of shit last year for what happened in the final round. But he was just being a hard, aggressive Kiwi racer.
Yeah.
He's got Greg Murphy in his corner coaching him through things. And he's bloody quick. He should have won Bathurst. He was leading Bathurst and the car failed.
Yeah.
Same as Mostert, but Mostert decided to go for a beer. But famously, up on the hill, the clip that went viral. You know, Grove Racing, they've now lost their team principal. That's another Ford team that are right up there. So Matt Payne and Kai Allen, they've got two youngsters. I mean, I could talk about V8 for months, honestly.
We know.
There's so many facets of this.
Yeah.
So many facets of this. And Team 18 have now got the Chevy homologation thing. Will that be a burden? Because they're not a regular winner. Mm-hmm. But they've got the drivers, you know, they've got Dave Reynolds and Anton Di Pasquale there that are capable of doing it.
Yeah.
They can do the job. Dave Reynolds is a multiple Bathurst winner. You know, he's done, well, multiple, 27. He's an ex-Bathurst winner. He's done it before. Anton Di Pasquale is one of those drivers where he's carried so much promise for years. He went to Dick Johnson Racing and away we go. And again, I talk about Dick Johnson.
Yep.
They've had a rough few years. They've been a Ford homologation team. They've changed. So there's so many sides of the coin in V8 supercars going into this year. I can't call it yet. I'm just so excited for that first round. All the new car liveries are going to start coming out in the next few months.
Yeah.
We're going to have to bring out the TV screen.
That's always exciting. That's one of the best parts of what we're coming into is the new car liveries.
The new car, yeah, and then everyone comes out and it's like, oh right, here we go, right, that's it. It's really going to go now. So yeah, it's looking good. Just going back to touring cars, they've actually announced they're doing their season launch dates and everything haven't they? So
and the official test days. That's all come out, which is good.
Yeah, a little bit of a change for them this year. They're doing the launch at Brands.
Yeah. Usually it's Donny. They did one at Thruxton a few years ago, which was good. I swear I did one at Brands a fair few years ago when Tordoff went into the Civic, and the 1 Series was still kicking around. So
yeah, so they're obviously trying to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, rotate it around a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. Is Alton Park too cold at that time of year? But maybe one at Alton Park would be quite good. I think the crowd there would be brilliant.
Yeah, they're quite restricted though with the noise as well, aren't they?
They are, and track days are kind of predominantly up there. So
it's their bread and butter. For
most tracks, it is. So, is that the only series you're going to be watching overseas? Am I going to tempt you into a bit of NASCAR?
Oh yeah, you definitely will. I want to see Shane Van Gisbergen do it.
Yeah.
I want to see Shane Van Gisbergen win on the ovals as well as the road courses.
He won't win on the super speedway. I think he will win. I don't know. Where would you see?
Do you know what? I'm going to go out here. I'm probably, there's a few people watching this going, Rob, you are absolutely effing stupid. I might put a tenner on him to win the 500.
Nah, there's too many two big plate races. Nah. I think that's going to be... You've got people like Joe Logano and Denny Hamlin and Cole Larson. They're going to be up there.
But why not?
Look, anything can happen in the 500.
And that's what I'm thinking.
Anything. You've got to be seriously lucky because there's some seriously good plate racers that just know the moments when to pick them. It's just... I don't know. He'll win on an oval this year. Everyone's got to up their game to try and compete with him on the road course. The only one I've seen really hold a candle to him on the road course is Allmendinger. Yeah, to really hold a candle to him is Allmendinger. The rest of them I think they're pushing their limit on him. in my opinion. But who knows?
Definitely.
So obviously we'll have Indy and the big ones. So that's all of our overseas. What sort of events are you looking forward to going to this year?
Goodwood. I think Goodwood always put on a massive show with what they do. You just can never beat the fact. It always seems to get better every year.
Yeah.
And I was there. I wasn't there last year. I was there the year before. I was very lucky enough that I got to go up in a helicopter and look at the whole event over the top, and it was like, holy cow, this is unreal.
It's huge. It's so big. I've never been able to get round the whole thing. I've only ever done a day, so. But I love the fact the theme changes every year. The different cars, the drivers. It's such a feel-good event.
But I also think it's also turned into that event now where there's no Autosport anymore. We've got the race retro. It's not just about motorsport and the historic motorsport from that side, but it's also about the fact, BMW launched their new M5. Manufacturers will go there now to launch their new cars.
Do you think all Goodwood damaged Autosport?
No.
In terms of...
No, I think Autosport damaged itself.
Okay.
I think they should have moved it away from the NEC 5 years ago. As soon as COVID hit, that's when they should have said, right, let's move it away from the NEC. There are other venues available that are still central.
And cheaper.
Yep. And I think they potentially cut off their nose to spite their face with that.
You could have still held that event at a smaller event and a better event at Silverstone in the new wing.
I think so. It was the fact that they bought Motorsport Days Live and Ben Wibley and brought him in. And then, I mean, Ben could listen to this, watch this, and I've met Ben a few times. He's a lovely guy, and he knows his stuff of what he did with Motorsport Days Live. It was a very successful show. But why would you bring someone in because of how successful their format is, and then tell them, right, you're going to do what we want our way? And it's like, well,
why'd you bring me in?
Exactly.
That way doesn't work, does it?
Yeah. And as soon as you heard that Ben had gone, it was like, right, okay, now we.
No, you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, you're not silly. You know exactly. You can work out straight away, right? We know what's happened.
Yeah. So Goodwood built off, obviously, Festival of Speed. Excellent, superb.
But the revival as well.
Phenomenal. And the members meeting. Exactly.
And that's one of the early meetings in the year, or earlier. And this year they've just announced a super touring element of it.
Yes, fantastic, isn't
which
it?
clashes with the touring cars.
But I suppose it gives the owners the chance to actually drive the cars instead of getting touring car drivers in to drive the super tourers.
Yeah.
But because there's one in Australia, isn't there? Actually, a super touring car event.
There's a few who happened in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And there's I think it's the Oldtimer Grand Prix at Nürburgring,
okay.
the German equivalent.
That's the one.
So a lot of the European super touring.
That'd be awesome.
Facets.
That'd be awesome.
But I can see why them coming over to the UK is difficult and us going over to Europe is difficult, and et cetera, et cetera. It's the carnet with Europe. Brexit killed it.
It
absolutely knackered it with that sort of thing.
That is the big struggle. It's the struggle with going over and racing anywhere on the continent.
Yeah. And with the Australians coming over here, it's my understanding that MSV had to put up considerable cost in shipping to get the cars over. So, although I could be wrong, that was the information I was told.
Okay. But with so they've done that. Goodwood have. They're obviously mega events. We've got a big event with Brands Hatch Centenary this year.
Yeah, 100 years old, Brands Hatch.
It's awesome, isn't it? So they've got a load of events on throughout the year.
Yeah, and MSV will do their events team will do a great job at celebrating that.
Yeah, it's good.
And I'm sure when you get the major championships go there, like your touring cars, like your British GT, they will make a big thing of, they're here racing on the 100th year of Brands Hatch.
Do you think we'll see some sort of one-off liveries for those events, especially in touring cars?
Maybe. I'd like to.
That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it?
That'd be very cool. And, kind of show off the heritage properly.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I'm quite looking forward to attending Brands this year with all that, what's going on and what they've got planned. It'd be pretty awesome. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with 2026. It's actually from what we were talking about of a bit of are we going to struggle? There's a lot going on this year.
There's a lot going on about. So let's end it on a positive note.
Yeah.
Let's look forward to it. And I think 26 is going to it's going to have its challenges. It's going to have its tough times. I mean, in our personal lives with racing, we're both kind of sat here thinking, right, we maybe need a bit of help commercially, and we're both
massively,
working hard behind the scenes.
Massively.
I've got to have some conversations with people to help get me on the car to put back together first.
Yep.
And yourself with the Boxster. But
So
I think
the same thing again. Just need some commercial help, as always, as we all do. So working hard. My dad's working really hard for me, so which is good. Having people, it's not just one person; it's a whole team of people to help you and move on from there and see what we can do for 2026.
Yeah.
Let's see where we go from that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I'm going to be at racetracks anyway. You're going to be at racetracks doing your stuff. Hopefully, we're going to be ROCC. So.
And the good thing is, so I had a chat with Luke at the BROCC. It looks like my name is going to be put forward for a few live stream days. So I look forward to getting a calendar through to kind of have a look at what's available. I'll be with the C1 Club as well. I'll be with the Modified Fords.
Yeah.
We'll be at British racetracks this year, and we are going to take these sofas on a bit of a tour.
Hopefully, that'd be fun, won't it?
Yeah.
Pack up the sofas.
Just remind everyone they're wiped down, and we'll wait to see who gets the first comment of "It's the casting couch."
I thought we'd had that one already.
Yeah, we have had that one already. I'm waiting for it to be called out at a race event. Let's see. But ending on a positive note, Scott.
Always a positive note. Always.
But next week, hopefully, we will have Scott Woodruff back. We are planning for both eventualities. He is a busy boy. He's coming back from France. He's got some work to potentially plan for in the commentary world. He's hopefully going to be a busy boy this year doing commentary stuff. But in the meantime, I think, Scott, from Rob Lewis and from Scott Evans, that's another episode of the Driving Talk podcast.
That's a wrap.
Beautiful. Bye, everyone.
Bye.